All right, guys. What's good? What's good? What's good? It's Chaos Rain here. Another one, another stream, another podcast here on the Chaos Rain Show. The links to follow me are the above. You can follow me on Twitter at Chaos Rain 7. Add me as friend on Facebook, Eric Rain on Facebook. Join my Discord service. Join my Rumble handle, C Rain 23, and become a member. That's it. That's all the introductions. I'm not going further. Normally I don't start with introductions, but today I did something a little different. So this is a series dedicating to one of anticipating release book that if it doesn't make the New York bestseller or make headways, I don't know what will. You know what I'm saying? But nonetheless, this is just a taste of what you might expect out of a almost 500-page book. So for those that's watching, please share this stream. Comment at the end of the video if you like it, don't like it. Or if you think that you're going to purchase Obsidian's book. So no further ado, and make sure everything is good. I'll timely look behind back what's going on, but nonetheless, the show must go on. And I see, I'm on Clubhouse as well, but I don't use Zap, so anywho, let's look. Everything good? All right, look like everything's good on my end. So let's begin, guys. Not gonna hold more time because I want to knock this out the way. And as you know, let me check what chapter I'm in now in this book. I'm gonna look right now. I'm gonna look right now. What chapter I'm in? Oh, wrong one. Okay, let me see how long this is. This is chapter 4. In this chapter, it deals with was titled "Modern Black Feminists Say Manosphere is a Public Health Crisis," a funding of the founding fathers of the Black Manosphere response. And let me see how long this one is before I go into it. It looks like this one's not long. Nope, this is not a long one. So we'll go through 2 chapters and then we'll wrap it up. All right. Let's start off. And like always, pick up the book yourself. It should be releasing very soon. And let me refresh my end. Make sure everything's good. Okay. All right, looks like we're good. All right, guys, make sure you hit the like button. Let everybody know I'm live. Let's begin. A note from this chapter is based on the posts I wrote in response to a video titled "Kim versus the Manosphere Again," and published on YouTube October 11th, 2023. This was a month ago, a year ago. Roughly a year and a few weeks. Last week, while attending a Big Ten football game watch party down on Logan Square here in Philly, I was asked a pointed question by an attractive brown-skinned sister in attendance. What was the massive problem with feminism? With a big quotation marks or a big question mark. The lady in the question, highly educated and accomplished by any reasonable standards, was entrailed by what has become known to be the manosphere in more recent years of social media history. As is so often the case, she, like many others of the level-headed ladies, have found themselves inexorably drawn to the master social media space and has spent quite a bit of time in consuming the content therein. Not surprisingly, she found that much of it revolved around what she saw as the manosphere's problem with feminism. And since she knows what I was a major figure in the space, wanted to get my take on the whole ball of wax. In my response, I made clear that I was speaking for myself and myself alone, and that I thought it would be better to make 2 very important distinctions. 1, I am representing for the Black Master, something that I helped to create 8 years ago, along with the Angry Man, O'Shea Duke Jackson. And 2, I will confine my response to what my problem was with the Black feminism, which got its unofficial start with what they call the Combine River Collectives in 1974, now 50 years ago. My off-the-cuff response to lady questioning is as follows. And let me pause right here for a second, guys, because I gotta do this. Hold on. One second. All right. Make sure. All right. Okay. Continue. My principal problem with Black feminism is that it's fundamentally premise as promulgating by themselves and their lesser informed sisters in the decades since is severely flawed. Black men have never been in control of governmental, commercial, or military policies in this country, which is so true. I.e., the patriarchy. Indeed, even the most casual of investigations revealed that fact, and the cold-hearted fact that when black men tried to assert their own patriarchy in the form of business and commerce, it was ruthlessly destroyed by angry and threatening white males, to wit the Tulsa, Oklahoma Black Wall Street race wars of 1921, which now is 120, actually 103 years ago. There are far too many other documents examples to list here. And there was also riots in North Carolina and all the parts where black people reside. My second principal problem with the black feminism is that it has truly gone off the rails with the white feminist Marxists. That the personal and political, for example, it has been my estimation that many of the founding mothers of modern black feminism have seemed to have made their personal insecurities, anxieties, issues, and problems largely, if not totally, surrounding the and having to do with individual black men into a case celebrity that somehow everyone has to have something to do with. Do you hear me? For example, the colorism argument is deeply flawed, largely because it fails to hold up even the most casual of tests. There has been and continue to be numerous examples of dark-skinned black women who have achieved the heights of American life in just about every endeavors, from media moguls, the Supreme Court justice, to Oscar-winning actress, to former First Lady of the United States. In the vast majority of the affirmations cited case, the black woman is questioned have black husbands or longtime mates. Yet the colorism argument and its derivatives of varying stripes persist, which brings me to the third problem that I have with modern day black feminism. That it has utterly failed to deliver the goods to black women writ large in making their lives better. When you really sit down and think about it, if there has been any real gain for black women since the CRC formation, it came at the hand of sweat of white women, Roe v. Wade, changing social mores surrounding women having education and careers, even moving the needle of the Me Too movement. All came from the white woman. Black feminism simply cannot give an accounting of the law they have successfully lobbied and passed. They cannot show how they have made black women safer. They cannot document how they made black women happier, and certainly cannot show and prove how they made black women healthier. On just about every index, one could think of black women taken together of a group having gotten demonstrable worse since the CRC inception. They gotten heavier, more broken up, and divorced, and lonelier, are the most evicted, and have the highest incidence of STDs. Yikes! 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 Yeah, that was deep. I ain't gonna lie. All right. Hold on, guys. All right, let's continue. My Big Ten lady interlocutors had to admit that after I lay out my argument in response of a fried asparagus and hummus, which is a good delicacy. I highly everybody try that. Okay. I had a point, actually several, and that's while she absolutely knew quite a few following traveling among black feminists over the years. She had to concede that none of them even tried to account for the things I cite in my response, all of which is to set on stage for YouTube videos cite above. Several of my listeners were keen to get my response from the relatively well-known internet modern feminist who happened to be black and has seemed to have made a name for herself, aping the same black feminist tropes that went out with the bell bottom pants. At first, I was seriously considered responding to in a live show or video form, but after reading an actual transcript of the video in question, I decided to respond in writing form to highlight just how nonsensical as many of these modern feminists actually are, or nonsensical they are, and they are. The video, which is just shy of 10 minutes long, consists of course a lot of ramble about discussions, personal issues, and opinions that by definition don't form up a proper argument and certainly aren't interested to me, and I strongly suspect no one else. Towards the end of the stream of consciousness diatribe, however, the modern feminist attempts to suggest the black master that is who she is actually talking about is a public health crisis. That she actually said that with a straight face, only reinforcing the diluted nature of the modern feminist worldview. She goes on to suggest that Richard Reeves, a British American academic who heads up the Brookings Institution and has recently published of the boys and men is what the doctor ordered as an appropriate counterweight to the black master. That the modern feminist who happens to be black and mixed in a frequent taking or talking point of her suggested that a white non-American man can address the black master, only again highlighting the delusion at work here. First off, the modern feminist can make extraordinary claims, but she has to back it up. The extraordinary evidence, and there is none to support her argument. The black master isn't behind the spat of gun violence occurring in places like my native Philly, where where the Sixers Hall of Fame Allen Iverson is trying in vain to be the voice of reason among the city's knuckleheads, and where Danielle Outlaw, the first black female police commissioner, had quite and gotten out of Dodge in the face of even rising homicide rates. It's not the black master who is responsible for the exorbitant spike of STDs infections impacting black women across the black precinct of this country, most notably in Houston, Texas, where the syphilis rate is literally off the chart and where black babies are being born with the disease at an alarming rate. And I ain't gonna really go into detail about that. That's not a story. It's not the black master who is the cause of black women and their children being evicted at all-time high rates coming out of the global pandemic. A high percentage of black men in the space are happily married or otherwise made it, and their ladies are out here accusing black women with whom they disagree pick-me's or or what do you call bleating on about colorism, featureism, and body positivity. I hate that. These women need to really grow up when they talk about this body positivity nonsense. But that's my take. Hold on. And if I do sound good and clear, let me know in the comment section. All right. Moreover, attempts to join at a hip and raise of the incels with the Black Manager is tenacious at best. And even if one toss aside all known evidence to the contrary and squinting real hard, it becomes even harder still to explain always the increased mountain of peer review evidence on the part of academic research such as William Costello of the University of Texas in Austin and prodigy and Professor David M. Buss, a giant in the field of evolutionary psychology. Costello, July 2023, papers definitely close the lid close the lid on the coffin that incels are but a bunch of sleeper alien Rogers just waiting to attack women in masse or in masses. All of the things I cite above have been observed by no scholars to the public health problem, and none of them have even casually linked to the Black Master. On the contrary, the Black Master has proven itself to be a net positive of Black Americans at large. This is provided by the third annual Black Master Conclave, which went down last month in Atlanta in the early fall of 2023. Some of 200 Black men turned out physically and virtually for an expression of the sole purpose of becoming the best version of themselves. And we've been around only a fraction of the times modern feminism like the one I address in today's post have. Oh, the irony. The irony. The irony. Now, as I wrap up my post for today, consider this. Hold on a second. Wait, one second. This is a book reading. Can you mute yourself for a second? All right. Oh, this is new. All right. I'll make sure follow them. All right. Let me keep going. Now as a wrap up, my post for today. Consider. Okay, I have made a solid historical base, right, religiously research, impeccable source, and fundamental sound argument as to how and why a founding father of the Black Master have a problem with modern day Black feminism. I have made no personal attacks. I have harsh or harassed no one. Instead, I have made an argument. Let's see if the other side can do the same in writing, shall we? And there are endnotes here where they can find the endnotes if you get the book yourself, which the book will be coming out in first week of November, for those that don't know. All right. As we pause, make sure you guys leave a comment at the end of this video and like the video. Now, we're going to look at now the next part, which probably the end of this night, and that's the chapter 5. And let me just take a scan of this quickly. Yeah, all right, we can go ahead. All right, cool. All right. Although the principal difference between modern white feminism, yes, we can call it that in our time today, as opposed to the previous. And priest, hold on, let me see what's going on. Hold on, let me see who this. Hold on, guys. All right, let's go. Where is this? Okay, we'll start from here. Yes, we can call it that in our time today, as opposed to the previous waves. White feminism in the past century or so, and modern Black feminism is radical. There is another very important difference between the two, one that isn't discussed by others, certainly not written down and documented, and isn't recognized by either fractions. Fate just happens to get or to give me a real time demonstration and just how fundamentally different the two actually are again in practice, which when it comes to modern black feminism in particular is what this book aims to illustrate. About a decade ago, my lady friend and I moved into a new place in a section of my hometown Philly. I won't disclose the specific ones, but it was a neighborhood that, while diverse racially, educationally, and socioeconomically, was nevertheless in the grips of what they call debilitating or dilapidating crime waves. We had drugs dealing and crap games on the corner, streetwalkers out and about at the night, and routine car break-ins, etc. And you name it. All right. One of the first things we discovered upon moving into our new place was a bullet hole in the bathroom window and the results of the numerous running gun battles between rival crews. And you know, the gangs in Philly ain't no joke, man. They spray up the place. If y'all know it, y'all know it, y'all know it. No. Yeah, see? All right. We would later hear the news of one young lady who was abducted in broad daylight and thrown into a van, though she was located safe and sound a short time later. Unfortunately, another woman, one of the what do you call it, affirmations streetwalkers, was found with her throat slit and rolled up in a carpet a few blocks over from us. Damn, that's sick. And the situation was desperate, much more than we had anticipated. The neighborhood were rightly anxious and concerned after an event where I fought off several potential attackers while my lady and I were on the way home. I decided that enough was enough and was prepared to take what they call extra legal action. As it turns out, I didn't have to go there. A team of white feminists sought me out. Hmm. Hmm. These white feminists were the textbook image of what you would expect a late 30 something and on to their 50s with KD Lang and Rachel Maddow hairdo, black jeans, and Durango boots. You name it, they plead with me and several other black men to get involved. We need the men, and in particular, we need the black men in to sort this out. I protest. I thought you ladies were feminists, right? I am woman. Hear me roar, and all that. That women they roar like the feminine. They go that shit. A woman needs a man like a fish needs a bicycle, and so forth. What happens? The white feminist response, and I remember it's like it was yesterday, was we might be feminists, but we're not crazy. The corner boy will not listen to us and dismiss us as white hunky women. We need the black man to handle this. That's the only way this will get fixed. And with that, they pretty much fell back, went into their houses and stayed off the streets until we straight things out. After work, closely with the police, all of the major players of whom were also black men, I might add, from the captain to deputy sergeant and other sergeants, my what do you call it, compatriots and I succeed in cutting the crime rate in half. The de facto town watch project works, but what really shocked me over the course of the year we operate in the neighborhood was how the white feminists act. They assist us in many ways. What they call logical support, acting as home base for us, and they actually prepare cookies and milk style refreshments every time we return from patrol. Yeah, I don't know why women give so much cookies. I mean, they could have made some better cookies. I don't mind cookies, but mix up, ladies. Have some warm cooked food. fresh vegetables and meat, and you know. I was floored. The image of these KD Lang, Rachel Maddow clones doing what Hillary Rodham Clinton vowed not to do when she first became the first lady. When her husband Bill Clinton took the White House and be baking cookies. One that I will never forget. My personal experience a decade ago with modern white feminism made real what some online had been saying, that white feminism might talk a mean game, which they don't, about a woman's need of a man. It's like a fish needing a bicycle. But when they head home from their protests and whatnot, they get behind their men, and those who don't have a man of their own, for whoever reason, will be quick to defer to one. I saw this go down firsthand. When the lights went out and shooting start in my neighborhood, those white feminists did not hesitate to get the men, in this case, black men, to do the heavy lifting to get things done for real. None of the white feminists in question were married to a man or had any at all as a mate. Not only that, but these supposedly stopped down white feminists were damn near stepford wives in their support roles to me and my partner out in the field. When we came back from patrol, every night freshly baked cookies, brownies, and cupcakes and coffee, tea, juice, and the likes was waiting for us. Like I said, man, like these days, I mean, man, now the more people get fat and they get all type of problems. You can't have that every day, man. I don't like that, but anyhow, I don't like that at all. There were no what they call hamburgers about patriarchy or long what they call diatribes about reproductive rights. Indeed, there was nothing but gratitude to us brothers working it out on the block, putting and keeping the knuckleheads in check. So 2 years later, I came as no shock in the least to me when Donald J. Trump, whom I support as a proud black Republican, I might add, won the election against the first real white feminist candidate in, yep, you guessed it, Hillary Rodham Clinton. And I'm going to look at and see y'all chats in a second, so be patient. I see y'all. Many thought that Clinton camp October surprise reveals the tape where Trump made the grab them by the pussy remarks would tank his chance of winning and cementing her support among white women with a feminist bent. But the gambit backfired, largely because white women fell in line behind Trump over the white feminists. Hillary, I could easily see why white feminists talk one way and act another when their fat is in the fire. Modern black feminism, and sad to say, black women more broadly, by extension, but not operating this way to date, I can think of no modern black feminist when having approached a neighborhood problem in the way their KD Lang, Rachel Maddow clone white feminist stepsisters did. And all right, this is it. All right, where am I? Okay. Any chance are very, very high that you, dear readers, can't either. The reason why is very simple. Because modern black feminism are true believers, and black women at large who support the Democratic Party to the tune of nearly 100% are quick to put ideologies before bread and butter, life and death issues. White women in general, and modern white feminism in particular, make a powerful distinction between rhetorics and practice. And yeah, while it is a hypocritical as hell, observing what they say and watch very closely what they do is quite instructive as to how and why white folks are where they are, and we as Black folks are where we are. White feminism might have their issues with their white men, but when push comes to shove, they can and will fall in line behind them in a way one is hard pressed to see many examples of the same among Black women overall and modern Black feminism in particular. White women feminists are otherwise understanding that their well being is directly tied to men. If not white men, then the next best thing. Modern Black feminism and a not insignificant number of Black women more broadly have bought into the idea that they are strong, independent, and don't need no man throwing their lot in a big daddy government to protect them more than Black men, and any event do not see their destiny intertwined with Black men or men in general. A very patriarchal that white men create a notwithstanding, those modern white feminists a decade ago would have told you otherwise. At all, quite confusing, but if you're reading this book, you already knew that. What modern Black feminists either refuse to get or cannot accept is that modern white feminism, heck, any iteration of white feminism, simply do not see white men, or for that matter, Black men, and by extension, the patriarchy, the way modern Black feminists do. For whoever reason, they are much more likely to fall in the line when shit gets real, while modern Black feminism continues to write indignant thinking piece, express their constraints, constrainations about the real plot taking of modern white feminism. One other thing isn't fascinating that for all of the rah-rahs online and so-called hacktivists among modern Black feminism, that you don't actually see them out on the block of Black America. Here in Philly between the year 2020 through 2023, which is now, I would say roughly 3 years. 3 years. There were a staggering amount of deletions, or they call say murders, at 499,562 and 514 and 410 respectively. During the region of the city of brotherly love, first ever Black and female police chief Danielle Outlaw, and not once was what they call Feminista Jones and her local modern Black feminism sisters were out there confronting the problem of gun violence and the like head, and they certainly weren't appealing to Black men to handle it. And being a support of systems complete with freshly baked goods and refreshments, right when the brothers go back and where the brothers go back from straightening things out either. Compare and contrast. A final point that needs to be said. I am not Team Becky. I'm not one of those Black men who think white women as a group, as a class, or the sugar honey iced tea. You know what that means. I need to put that in writing here because anything else, even coming close to white women, is uttered by someone Black folks lose their mind. Black women, modern feminists, or otherwise, most especially, I am simply sharing my life or my live experience and saw how modern white feminism actually move in real time. End notes. Again, compare and contrast. And at the end of this chapter is end notes. All right, that's it. I gave you 2 chapters. I'm looking for your response in the comment section on this one. This one was a doozy. I like to say to myself. And let me do this. This one was a doozy. Deep. All right. And let me see what's going on here. All right. Let's look at the comment sections. So I got some people here. Don't worry, Tevin. I understand. You can catch replay. And, I also like thanks a support and contribution by Tevin King. with a $10 super sticker. And what's good, bro? I'll be looking forward to reading your comments at the end of this. See if you like the series, don't like the series, whatever. Your input goes a long way, a very long way. Now, like I said before, I will not be covering this whole entire book. I don't think it needs to. The book speaks for itself. But like I said, while you go through and listen to this series firsthand, and we could say this is like more of a, how do you say, a audio version of this book. Take notes of things that stick to you each chapter, which really set precedent. All right, guys, thank you for watching today's stream. Look forward to reading your comments in the at the end of the stream, and make sure you give this video a like, and you can share this as well. All right, guys, thank you for watching today's stream. Until next time, take care.